Hello guys, it's Valandry and welcome to my video. In this video I will talk to you about knowing your strategy at Dota 2. Check this out. It's actually not it's not an official strat or something, to follow or what. It's just my opinion summarizing all strat that ever happened in professional scene. So if I'm do wrong or explain something wrong, or maybe I'm misleading something or someone, so I do my apologies and just share my knowledge in here. Dota 2, a game we know and we love, actually have something more than it appeared to be. As for me, Dota 2, more than just random clicking and getting kill and kill like the other game. It needs good reflex, a flick reaction and split second decision making, so you need to be smart player to win the game. There are things we must know to achieve triumph and win the game, but most important is strategy. You can just go to battle without knowing what to do, right? So knowing your strategy will easy you win the game. Most of the case, there are only 3 main strats to play with, and we will start with number 1. Number 1 is ganking strategy. The strategy is quite simple, to hold or even decrease enemies' net worth. Yep, so basically just raiding their lane phase, or maybe if you're lucky you can get a kill. In a professional scene, this strategy has been done to gank the mid lane, since the mid lane player carry the game from early to middle game. It's often happening to end up as a clash actually in the middle, so if the gank players are not ready, they might get punished by the counter gank. The strategy basically requires 1 or 2 heroes to keep rotating across the map, or in this term we call it segue. The advantage of this strat is, as you know, hold the enemy's net worth. Sometimes this strat is done if you know there is 1 or 2 very skillful player in the team side. For example, maybe if you queued and match against Miracle or Matumbaman. So in order to strict the player in particular and make them useless later on in the game, you maybe just to gank him quite often. And of course there is this advantage from this strat. If you go to ganking, there is also a lane that you abandon. For example, if you are a Dire and you have AM and Earth Spirit in the safe lane, Earth Spirit is not quite good in landing phase, so he will gank to mid and in the end. So while Earth Spirit is ganking, it makes the carry, which is AM now, vulnerable for being killed by their offlaner or even getting ganked by another, since the Earth Spirit is missing. And also the disadvantage of if you are connecting a ganking and you staying at particular lane, doing nothing, hoping something to happen, not only you are letting your teammate experience, you're also wasting your time there. It almost happen every time, well at least in 3 or 4k MMR brackets. Not only the level gap will broaden since you are roaming from bot to top, got nothing, right? So let's summarize this right. Objective from the start is to hold enemies' networks and ruining their laning phase. The advantage is the particular player that constantly getting ganked will hard to raise their network from early to middle game. And for the disadvantage, there are lanes you may abandon and make it vulnerable, so you might considering not to do it. And for the second strategy is pushing strategy. Pushing strategy, or some people might call Red Dota, have been introduced since 2013. The Alliance win. The objective of this strat is to destroy enemy's tower on building as fast as you can. This strat can only be played by particular hero like Nether Prophet, Lesrak, and etc. It depends on you to exploit the hero skill and or items. Basically, the pushing strategies exploits the ability of heroes or item to make extra unit on their behalf. But not only that, skills and items to buff your heroes and also necessary for this strat to success. The advantage of this strat is as destroying enemies towers and building, all of the team will get gold, right? So the growth of your team networks are equal, and also you have more map control, since you know the enemies will not feel safe to go outside by knowing no towers to guard them. No tower to TP for a backup friend maybe, and the enemies will get more place to go ward. And for the disadvantage of this strat is the risk. The risk is too high when you're playing this strat. You might know there is an extreme pushing strat called only middle pusher or only mid push. Sometimes it works, sometimes not, because it depends not only the heroes, also the coordination and the team and the enemy's lineup. For example, if your enemies have a lot of counter push heroes like KOTL or Pak, they both, for example, have a high burst area of Vivek Devik. Before you even touch the tower, your creeps wave will obliterate by those heroes actually. This strat for me it's fun to play with because just for laugh. But I think it's only suitable if your team can communicate well. And this strat for me is for an advanced player. So in summary for this strat is the objective is to destroy the enemy's tower and building as fast as you can. The advantage is fun to play it, equally shared networks and more map control. But the disadvantage is the risk is too high, and it's only depend on communication, and it also strict to specific heroes to do that. Number 3 is turtle strategy. The last strat I like to talk is the turtle strategy. Many of the players still don't know this strat yet, even though they seem to play it several times. The main objective of this strat is to make sure 1 to all core player have a decent amount of farm they need to win the game. So basically all you have to do is to protect your carry so he can farm and have a proper item to win the game. A lot of people still confused about this strat, including me. Why? Because what type of carry is really suitable for this strat? And how about the other 4 players? This question emerged the more I read about this strat, but for me it's clear that at least you need like 4 minutes or more, or at least your carry said it is enough farm for him. Some people think that this strat is a one-man show since he must get every gold as fast as he can, but actually no. The other 4 players are as important as the carry, because these 4 players must hold their tower to defend. So a counter push hero is really suitable for the turtle start, or even heroes that can create space roaming around the map, controlling where the enemy's heroes should go so your carry can farm, or maybe split pushing in the opposite lane. The advantage of this strat is low risk because you didn't engage in a clash. If you do, not only your carry will not be there, but also it could risk your carry life since he will be alone. Avoid clash. The other advantage of doing this strat is the mind games. Since you and your teammate agree to do the turtle gang, so you prepared for a long farming game with nothing happen, like no clash or no war happen in between. Sometimes the enemies will get impatient about this strategy and make a blunder. The disadvantage of this strat is when the enemy's carries are better than your carries. No shit Sherlock, but it is. Maybe your enemies can have a higher GPM like Alce, or maybe they can fast farming like AM, so basically you're screwed. So to summarize the turtle gang, the objective is to exploit the farm for only 1 or 2 players. The advantage is it's low risk, but the disadvantage is it based on your carry ability to farm. But wait, there's more. Some people think that this strat acts like a rock, paper, scissors. But for me, it is not. You can't play 100% on push only or 100% on gang only. If you want a balanced team, you must mix them up. For example, this draft from OG versus IG at the final DAC Game 3. OG got Monkey and Visage. These 2 heroes can stay at line for a long time since Jarak is holding with his monkey. They must make something happen, but not for lone druid. He needs farm, he needs his item. OG's lineup is a mix between gang and turtle, but the priority is Aldi. So this strat is a turtle sided strat. This mix almost happened in every professional scene. Same goes to IG. They focus to hold Ember Spirit net worth in the mid lane, but Thankful Spirit is not really a good carry from early to mid game. He needs a proper farm and item so he can have enough damage for Arcs and Lone Druid. But things that IG have and OG didn't is an early mid core, since IG got Legion Commander, and also IG can easily switch from gank strat to pushing strat, like from Warlock Rocks, or even if that didn't work, they have Thankful Spirit to do the turtle. So basically, you can play 100% on any particular strat, but it got its own advantage and disadvantage. The only way to reduce the risk is playing the strat by mixing it up. You can also change the strat from one to another in the middle of the game. You can just wave it like the IG does. So well, that's it, my explanation about these strats. I hope you guys enjoy this. Please leave a like if you found this helpful somehow, and don't forget to comment down below if you still have a question, a correction, or maybe a suggestion about this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I see you guys in the next videos. Bye!